All right. Welcome, everyone, to Dreamforce. Yeah, everyone's enthused. Did you have your coffee yet? Maybe. So I'm Bobby Brill, product manager with Einstein Analytics. I'm here with my colleague, Carrie. We have a great session today to show you how you can build templates so you can go from actionable insights in minutes with analytics templates. I am, oh, look at that. Look at that. We got technical difficulties. I am super excited to present your very first forward-looking statement of Dreamforce, hopefully. I don't know if anyone was here yesterday. But forward-looking statements, we may or may not talk about roadmap. We don't know. We don't know what we're going to say. We're already into the next release, so if we accidentally mention something, it's covered by forward-looking statement. All right, so analytics templates. Who here has used Einstein Analytics and has seen our create app templates? Anyone in the room? Anyone build using the sales analytics, service analytics template? Great. So as you know, Salesforce has this great mechanism to package dashboards, data sets, data flows into a template. So customers can come in, find the template that they want to use, create it, and get going very quickly with their analytics. So did you all know that this functionality was available for you to build yourselves? It's all available through the metadata API. Carrie's team helped build that. So we're going to go through actually some examples on how you can build your own templates. So why do you want to build templates? So Salesforce wants to do it because we want our customers getting up and running fast on Einstein Analytics. But you might be partners. You might have large organizations that you're covering, and you want to build your own templates. Maybe it's an app template. Maybe it's a dashboard template. In fact, in the winter release, we have some great new dashboard templates that should give you some ideas on how you can take a dashboard and connect it to any data set. And with that, in order to get started, you got to know Salesforce metadata. All of our metadata is in JSON format, so hopefully you have some good JSON editors. There's some great one online to parse through everything. There's some pieces that you need to do within that JSON file. And if you want to make it a really cool template, if you know Visualforce, if you know Apex and JavaScript, that is what powers our some of the templates that you see. And all of that stuff is packageable by you. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Carrie, who's going to take you through the life cycle of building a template. Thank you, Carrie.
Thanks, Bobby. All right. So like Bobby said, you can use the sales or service templates that we have available that Salesforce has written, or if you have an app that you like, that you have spent some time on, you can make a template out of that. So I have this app here. I've named it DF for Dreamforce, because I don't like to type. It's got this dashboard in it. It has a data set that I already have in here. And I like this dashboard. It's got these 4 measures across the top. Let me expand that a little. I can filter by these segments over here. I have this table that I could expand or collapse. So I've worked really hard on this. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to make it into a template so other people can use it. You can install it in different orgs. You can put it on the App Exchange if you want to make a little bit of money off of it. And so that's what we're going to do next. So you want to think of these templates as a blueprint or a stencil. It's something that you take a design that you like, and you make something so you can copy it on other places. Now, the apps are going to be a little bit different each time you install them. At the very least, they're going to have different IDs that they point to. And then you, as a template developer, can take it and make it as customizable as you want. So the first step here, I'm going to use SFDX. Now, you can use the metadata API, or you can use the Workbench to do simple REST commands with a really small payload. But I like SFDX right now. It's something that we have been using lately, and it's just a couple of command line commands. So the first thing I'm going to do is list the apps that I have in my org. So this is going to take a look at the apps I have. I've got 2. DF is the one that I'm going to take and make into a template. So it's just a quick SFDX command. And I give it the app ID, so it knows which app to make into a template. And if I can get it without shaking here. There we go. All right. So in the background, what this is doing is it's taking that app and it's making a bunch of JSON files that represent all of the assets inside it. So it's taking those assets, it's taking all the IDs that the dashboards are pointing to, and it's templatizing them. Because once we install this app somewhere else, or even in the same org, it's going to point to something different. So that's it. That's creating a template in minutes. I could be done with my demo now. However, now when I go to the app, start from template, there's my DF template. So it's OK. It's a little boring right now. It's called DF, for one thing. That's not very descriptive. It's got this icon, which is a nice Salesforce icon, but maybe I don't want a Salesforce icon for my particular template. There's no description. You know, this is really boring. There's nothing in there. And there's no wizard. But if I create this, it will create another app. It's going to look very similar to the app I already have in the org. It's going to install the same data set. It's going to install a very similar dashboard. But that's ready to go. It's almost an exact copy of what I've already got. However, you can make these a little bit more complicated. Rather than just issuing a command line, you can go in and you can edit those JSON files and make this more customized to what you want or more customized to what your end users are going to install. So to do that, you take a look at the JSON files. Now, I pulled these down with the metadata API. You can use SFDX to do it as well. But you just have to do a little bit of edits and then push them back into the org that you're using. So like I said, these JSON files are created when you create the template. And there's one for the dashboard. There's one for the dataset metadata. There's one for the template itself. So the template has a name, a label, a description. It has these assets that it points to. And that's all stored in this template info.json file. So here, I've changed the label. I'm going to say a template for Dreamforce rather than just DF. I've added a little bit more information. I've added a description. I've added a label for custom attributes. I've added some tags, which will be nicely formatted on the wizard. And I've added a preview image. So I've taken a screenshot of my dashboard, popped it in here, and now I can see what that dashboard is what that app is going to look like once I install it as a user. Some other things that you can do now. So that's the easy part. The next part is more of a development activity. You really need to test this out once you start trying to customize your template. So I have these variables here that will change the way the app looks. So in this case, I want to take my template and make it so the user can pick their own data set, not the data set that I choose. So if I've got some sales data and I want to use this dashboard instead of another dashboard, and I want to use my data, then I can templatize that and ask the user to choose what data set they want. So I use variables to do that. We've got a lot of different types of variables. You can use a string, a Boolean, a number. We also have more complex variables. So in this case, I'm using a data set and a data set measure field. I'm asking the user to choose some dimensions. That's the filters along the side. And I'm asking the user to pick a date. So we're going to trend across a date. So the user is going to have a little bit more control over what they install at the end. To do that, I have to change the dashboard a little bit. So every time that I have the data set, I'm going to tokenize this. So there's a variables main object dataset alias. That's exactly what the user is choosing in the wizard that is going to pop up based on these variables. So I've done that. This is one way of doing it. So you can either edit the dashboard JSON files directly, or you can do this thing called rules, which is a little bit more programmatic. So you are able to kind of loop through and add, in this case, I'm looping through and I'm adding the measures into the table that pops down in the bottom. So there's a little bit more control. Again, this is more of a development activity, so it needs to be really tested out. You need to make sure that the user can't choose something that they wouldn't want to choose. You need to have clear messages. It makes it a little bit more complicated. So all I have to do now is push those changes up into my org. So I'm using SFDX to do that. You can, again, use the metadata API if you like that better. It's completely up to your development style. So that has changed the template. And now when I go create my app, I have a template for Dreamforce with a description. I have a little bit more pizzazz here. I've got a nice icon. I've got some tags here. I've given myself credit for building this app, which maybe I didn't do all the work, but some of it. And then I have a wizard. So these are the variables that I've defined. I'm going to choose my widget sales instead of the superstore. I'm going to choose a couple of dimensions. So I'm going to go with division name, and I'm going to go with state. And then I'll just pick all the measures that I've got and the date. There we go. So this app will take a little bit less time because I'm not including a data set, so it doesn't need to load any data. It just lays down the dashboard and it's ready to go. So now, my new template, I have it based on the measures and dimensions that the user chose instead of what I chose for them. So it's trending across a year. I've got division name and states, which I can filter here. I still have my fancy table, but it's got different values and different measures there, so the user can pick there. So those are a couple different ways that you can make your own template. And it can be either complicated or simple, but it takes, what is that? 11 minutes?
About 11
to do all that stuff. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Carrie, I'm going to interject something really quick that we didn't practice.
OK,
so
thanks a lot.
I know, right? Can you go back to the JSON file for that dashboard template info?
Sure.
I want to point out one thing to everyone. Can you scroll all the way up to the top?
Sure.
The template info?
Template info.
The rule, yeah.
Sure.
There we go. All the way to the top. The very top, it says template type app. What other options do we have there?
Right now, we have dashboard templates that you can build and app templates that you can build. So a dashboard template will only put one dashboard, and it'll put it inside an app that you already have. So the way that I did it is it creates an app for the end user where you can create a dashboard template that just does one dashboard. If you've only got one asset and you want them to put it somewhere that already exists, that's a good option.
Great. Yeah. So, and the reason I wanted to bring up dashboard template, I think there's a great opportunity for customers to build their own branded dashboard template so that their users can go in, when they click create dashboard, start from a template. It'll be your branded dashboard. You connect it to whatever data set, and then users get started really quickly with that dashboard. So that's a good example of how it could be either used as an app or a dashboard. So I just wanted to interject that. I think it would be a good use case for you folks. With that, I think we have a couple minutes. We'd love to open it up for questions. Is there any questions on how to do this? Actually, you know what? Let's go back to the slides. We want to let you know of a couple things that are coming up. So if you're interested in the Salesforce DX that Carrie showed, there's a session on that. Oh,
oops. Sorry. Go ahead.
Here we go. So first off, we're in Trailhead. You can build a simple app in Trailhead. This link will take you directly there, or find us in Trailhead Analytics App Template Development. There's a developer keynote where you can learn all about all the cool things that you could build on the entire Salesforce platform. And then do you want to give a shout out to
Yep, sure. So there's also, if you like what you're seeing with SFDX, there's an SFDX in Analytics session at 1:30 in the Developer Theater, which I think is that direction. Yes, it is that direction. So, yep, it's at 1:30 today.
Awesome.
So, yep.
Are there any questions from the audience? If you have some, come forward. I'll repeat it so everyone can hear. Go back to... Oh, yes, absolutely. So a lot of options. You can package data sets, data flows, dashboards, and new with the Winter 19 release, you can actually package an Einstein discovery story. So when you create the template, it'll automatically create that Einstein discovery story so that you can automatically choose the fields to analyze in that story. So that's a brand new with Winter 19. We'll have one template from Salesforce that's doing that. Yes.
Do you have a way to share templates across different companies, just like a community? People can look at other people's templates? And
Right.
stuff like that?
So the question was, do we have a way to share templates? Actually, the best way to share templates right now, it's all metadata. Package up that metadata, put it out on the App Exchange. It's not only shared with your org, but it's shared with everyone else. There's ways to make private App Exchange that's only shared within your organization. I can't remember the steps to do that, but I know that that exists. So put it up on the App Exchange that can be shared out. Because it is just metadata. So it works just like any app.
And if you just have a package that you're sharing amongst a couple of orgs, that works too. So it can be moved that way too. Yep, good question.
Any other questions? This is exciting stuff. Are you guys going to go out and build your own templates?
Yes.
Our user can play the report by ourselves, right?
What's that?
User can play the report by ourselves, can create the report, bar chart or pie chart by ourselves, right?
Can you create a report by
Thanks,
yourself?
everybody.
Yeah, so
happy
using
to-
analytics in general, yes, you can create reports by yourself. Yep.